John, you wear a number of hats, so to speak, at the New Saints. One of them is you're involved in the school's work. Here we are at Woodside Primary School in Oswestry. But before we come to that, could we go back in time and tell us, how did you personally get involved in schools in the first place?
I'm a qualified teacher of 21 years this year experience. So I started off in secondary schools in 1998. And 15 years I think I spent in my first post, and then I decided I wanted a bit of a change, and I'd sort of worked on primary school projects, transition from primary to secondary anyway, and noticing how little PE was taking place in primary schools. That gave me a bit of a mission really to sort of work on developing children's skills, developing their all-round abilities, and I sort of went into helped a local business establish itself, and I was sort of headhunted then by another company. So I went in then to sort that out, working with primary schools, working on their schools programme, delivering to teachers and to pupils, and from there I sort of then was asked to sort of, if I wanted to take the business on. It became a business in its own right called Seven Sports, and one of the contracts was here at Woodside, many other schools as well around Shropshire, and we took that on, and then we got to a point where it became boom or bust really. So we had to decide what our next steps were. I was already working in the foundation, or working at the football club in the safeguarding capacity on a comment basis for a day a week, and we sort of came to the conclusion actually it would be worth bringing the programme over and putting that into the TNS Foundation, and it's growing, and it goes from there really, and here we are today at Woodside, as I say, with some fantastic delivery taking place behind us.
Well, John, indeed some fantastic delivery going on there. But it's not just Woodside Primary School, of course, but many other schools in the wider area that you're now involved with.
Yeah, and you know, we've certainly targeted the Oswestry area.
I nearly got hit by a ball there.
Wasn't far off my head either. You know, other schools, we're working at Meadows Primary School, which is a big school in Oswestry. We're working at Our Lady. We work down at Bryn Offa, and that's just to name a few in the locality. And again, we're always looking to expand that programme anyway, and we've certainly got some schools that we'd be interested in having conversation to see if there's anything that we could do with them going forwards.
And as you say, John, you want to expand the work, and if there are schools maybe watching this interview right now, first of all, what could you offer that school that they don't have already?
So we've got we've got 3 or 4 strands really. What we try and do is our main cornerstone is working on CPD, so that's continuing professional development for teachers. So we actually come in and deliver the sessions. Teachers come and get their CPD with us. I mean, I don't know whether people are aware, but somebody who does a primary school teacher's degree, within their degree course only receives 6 hours of training, which probably isn't enough to be able to fulfil the requirements of the national curriculum. So we come in and we train teachers. They work with us, obviously, to then, when we're not with them, to develop their own practice and their own skills. So that's one aspect that we work with. We then cover PPA, which is obviously teachers have to have their planning, preparation, assessment, marking time. So we would come in and deliver the PE in their absence. So that's us being on our own, and we deliver activities that are specific to school. And then the other 2 strands, I got hit there.
I really did get hit that time.
I got my cricket skills there to sort of try and handle that. And then we then run obviously breakfast clubs here. So that can normally is an 8 to 8:30 slot. Depending on what the activity is. Generally you'll find they're generally fitness sessions, trying to get the brain active, trying to get people into school. That has an impact on pupil performance, it has an impact on attendance, and also on the other side of the coin we also do the after school stuff as well. Obviously then that's obviously a godsend for parents, especially working parents who obviously can't get the time to come and collect their children, and that's another way in which we can facilitate that. And then we've also developed our own 6-week programme, and we did that as a pilot here last year, and that's what we call a national curriculum links, where we look at TNS as a project. So that would be, we tend to use the European campaign as the focus of that, and we look at the history behind the football club, the geography, where they could go in Europe. Depending on where we're drawn, we sort of teach some of the phrases that you might need to go if you're in that country, and so on and so forth. I think we did an art session here where we draw the players and colour the players in. There's a PE session, and that culminates in a visit to the venue. And obviously we get some other players involved with that, and we maybe look at some media site work, question and answer, and that then brings them into the football club, and via that we then maybe offer some tickets, and that sometimes is a way of getting them through the gate and becoming lifelong supporters. So it has a whole encompassing link.
John, your experience, your expertise comes over, but also your enthusiasm as well. This is not just about developing children in a physical way, but also about the more rounded development of their character.
And we forget that. I think we're the way that the society is and the way that education is. It's very much results focused and driven, and Ofsted's always around the corner somewhere for the school, and that is always the priority and the focus, and rightly so, because ultimately you're judged on the standards, you're judged on your results. But at the same token, we're trying to provide that all-round life skills, really. It is about life skills. Yes, we've got the physical element here that you see behind us, but it's about the life skills, about how children interact with each other, using manners, and just very basic life skills that, as valuable skills that we need going forwards.
Thank you for your time, John. And finally, if there is a school, a head teacher, a teacher perhaps, watching this video, and they want to be involved, they would like to have the foundation come into their school, what's the next step for them?
So yeah, they could get in contact with me directly via email, normally the best way, which that's john.rhodes@tnsfc.co.uk, and then we go from there. And then basically what I would do is then work out a time where we could have a meeting to see what the requirements are, and from a school perspective, more importantly, working within their budgets. All schools have access to the School Sports Premium nationally in England. Unfortunately, it doesn't apply in Wales. However, we still have ways in which we can work with Welsh School to do that. School Sports National Premium, I think, is now set at around £320 million a year. So schools get a very good proportion of that, and it is actually ring-fenced for physical education. So it's worth using that investment to spend wisely.